Hello everyone, my name is Vani. Welcome back to our channel Soul Journey. I have Kamaljeet over here and we're returning after a short break. We'll be discussing the book Life in the Multiverse by Bapuji Darshit Bhai Patel, and we'll be starting with chapter 7.
So, hello, Vani. Thank you for having me again. And yes, it's lovely to be back here with you. So, yeah, so we were talking about chapter 7. Chapter 7 is about how big is our Brahman. Brahman is the solar system.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like if we want to understand what is a Brahman in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the physical gross world, like the world in which we are living in, it's not a fantasy, it is a physical world.
Yeah.
In the simple language, we can define the Brahman as the entire confined area in space where planets, satellites of planets, stars, etc., are located, and the
Mm-hmm.
basic foundation of existence of this universe, sorry, this entire area of the Brahman
Mm-hmm.
is based on the elements with which it has been created.
Yeah.
And one can assume generally, we were also discussing about the five elements in the
Mm-hmm.
previous chapters.
Yeah.
So one can assume that our physical consciousness, that the five elements are the cause of the entire creation of this Brahman or the solar
Mm-hmm.
system, including the planets and other, other constellations, stars, etc. So, these all are a part of the Brahman or the solar system.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, people do get confused,
Yeah.
with the term Brahman, and commonly they think they believe it is the universe.
Mm-hmm.
But in Behad Gyan, or the knowledge of the infinite, as it has been described by Bapuji through his divine insight and visions, he's always, sharing that Brahman is the solar system.
Yeah.
And so universe is the bigger, larger body, larger container that contains numerous galaxies, and these numerous galaxies, each one of them have solar systems or the Brahmans.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can ask me what questions
Mm-hmm.
that you may have.
Yeah, I had a few questions and the first question would be is what exactly is a Brahman and how does Bapuji explain it in this book? I know you went over a little bit about it, but in like what is it really?
Yeah, so like as I just gave a brief glimpse, of the definition,
Hmm.
it is very vast, and I would highly recommend people to read the book.
Yeah.
This book, it is free for download and reading in, I think, multiple languages from their website. And I will share the link also with you. You can put it in the
Yeah.
description
Hmm.
so that it's available at paramshanti.org.
Hmm.
Life in Multiverse by Bapuji Dashrath Bhai Patel. And the chapters are very extensive.
Yeah.
In fact, further in the later chapters, there are diagrams which make it is a simplified explanation. When you look at the diagram or a photo of something, it's easier to understand.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Yeah, I'm a very visual person, so I like the diagrams and everything. That really helps.
yes, so visually it is everything becomes more clear rather than, so that's why I was thinking that we will be discussing as an insight into various chapters. We have been doing that so far.
Hmm.
And but I highly recommend if our audience, has some interest, sometimes you get motivated and inspired that I want to know more. What about, the whatever science has told is one thing that we are reading in the books, but
Hmm.
what is beyond? What is
Yeah.
beyond, and what science is coming to now? Science is
Yeah.
coming closer to divinity.
Mm-hmm.
Science is coming closer to the unseen physical entities as well. They are able to identify and say that, yes, there are possibilities, there are more possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
different explanations of the vast cosmos, and including that definitely includes the solar system, that is our Brahman.
Mm-hmm.
So, we can assume that our physical consciousness, that the five elements, as I just shared,
Mm-hmm.
are the cause of the entire creation of the Brahman and other systems as well. And in particular, now we are talking about the book Life in Multiverse, and we are talking about Bapuji's knowledge, the infinite knowledge that he has given.
Yeah.
As per that, Brahman refers to the solar system consisting of the 14 layers of creation. These layers are called lokas.
Mm-hmm.
The lokas are the different realms,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have also discussed about these realms in our previous chapters as well. We have not discussed in detail. The reason I have already given that, it is easy to talk about it, but
Yeah.
to assimilate, it is better to have a visual, the book in front of you and read it,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of details are given, diagrams are given, and tables are given.
Mm-hmm.
So one is able to comprehend understand the book better.
Mm-hmm.
So the highest dimension in our Brahman is the incorporeal world, or the supreme abode, or the Paramdham of this Brahman. It is also said the highest dimension of our Brahman, the Paramdham is also supposed to be the highest dimension, like it is the highest realm. We were
Mm-hmm.
talking about the 14 lokas. So
Mm-hmm.
it is the highest realm
Mm-hmm.
in the Brahmand, or the solar system, is called the Paramdham. And there are various layers of creation, or the realms, or the lokas below this Paramdham.
Mm-hmm.
And these are, we also discussed little bit about Shivpuri, Vishnupuri, Brahmapuri, Tapalok, Janalok, Maharlok, Swargalok, Bhuvarlok, Bhulok, that is earth. So, and there are also, 7 layers of creation, or the 7 dimensions above earth, and there are also 7 below. Like we
Yeah.
just mentioned the names of the 7 realms above, but below the earth,
Mm-hmm.
there are lower worlds, and one can say this is called the Patal Lok,
Yeah.
or generally in layman's language, one can also relate it to hell. These are the lower worlds of hell, hunger, and greed, where they say that there were about 550 million hells, or the Narkalok. In, like people say, when sometimes people get angry and mad with each other, so
Wow.
they say you go to Nark, or you go to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
That. No, I
so
remember
this
that.
is what
Yeah.
they are referring to, but they
Yeah.
may not actively know what they are talking about, because this is
Mm-hmm.
a normal way of talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then this is what is the meaning, these are the lower worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me, and of course, as per what Bapuji has said, I want to add that now these hells have changed. What the situation was million years ago, countless years ago. It has changed over time. Things change, and knowledge, information, like we see in the physical world too. Cities develop with time. What
Mm-hmm.
was 20 years ago is not the same. You go back to the same city, it is not the same city.
Yeah.
Likewise, even in the cosmos, things are constantly changing, evolving. There are destructions, there are dissolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is being created and being destroyed.
Yeah.
Consistently, this is happening.
Yeah.
And but so likewise, these 550 million hells have changed into solid asteroids, and these are asteroid belts, meteorites, and comets, and they keep orbiting in our solar system.
So wait, the lower levels have changed to asteroids?
Yes, yes. the lower hills have
Yeah,
changed, and yeah, and this destruction also keeps happening from time to time. We, like even for the entire creation of the Brahman, there is
yeah,
also a dissolution. Now they are saying that, the time has already started, the last period has
yeah.
already begun. We were talking about it. Yeah.
And who controls all of this? Like this entire system?
Yeah, this is an interesting question. Who controls definitely the controller is the person or the entity who has actually created this particular Brahmand or the solar system.
Mhm,
So the whole creation is sentient and very creative. It keeps on creating and it keeps on destroying itself.
mhm.
So, uh, you know, it's some kind of one can relate to invisible forces like the magnets,
Yeah,
magnets attract and repel. There is
mhm.
some kind of a force, we
Yeah,
don't see that, but then it definitely exists. So likewise, the creator of the universe or the Brahman or even the galaxy, there are different creators as we have discussed before, and they exist. They may not be seen with the physical eyes like what we
yeah.
see in five elements,
Mhm.
but definitely there is the invisible force. And there is not only this solar system, we must understand before answering that question you have asked, who is the creator or
Yeah,
governs that, right?
yeah,
There is not just one solar system or there is not just one Brahman. There are many infinite solar systems in this
yeah.
entire cosmos. The creator of each solar system is called Shiva, who is the owner and controller of a solar system.
Mhm,
That is the one of the smallest systems we can call in the entire
mhm,
cosmos. Like there are multiple universes, there's a multiverse, there are multiple universes, then there are multiple galaxies, then there are multiple solar systems, and
mhm,
take the smallest unit as the solar system.
mhm.
So there are infinite solar systems, and so that creators are also different.
I
The
see. So
creator of
for
one,
ours, it's Shiva.
yeah. So yeah, the Shiva is always the creator of of the solar system or the
Oh,
Brahman.
for ours or for all the solar
All
system?
in all, there
Okay.
will be different Shivas.
Okay.
They, it will not be the same Shiva, but
Okay.
definitely he is known as, to recognize him, the name has been given as Shiva.
Okay.
Yeah. And the most interesting point that arises here are are planets similar to our Earth in existence? There are so many different solar systems. Are there planets similar to our planet Earth? There could be, but they are all different.
Yeah.
There could be life on other planets. It's already been explained by science.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many planets where life does exist.
Yeah.
They are talking about many different entities coming to Earth from different planets. It's being scientifically, they are researching on it. That process is on.
Yeah, they're seeking evidence and everything. They do have they're I mean, the reality is that the universe is so big and there's so many other solar systems, like you said, there's so many other galaxies. Chances of there being life in other solar systems or anywhere, it's I feel like it's so likely that there is something. It's we're not the only ones in the universe or the multiverse. So yeah, science is trying to get some evidence for that. I
Yeah.
mean, they did recently find that on one of our satellites, the big one, I'm forgetting the name, that there is this bacteria that is growing on the outside. So this satellite like revolves around Earth, and I'm forgetting the name, the space station. So they're finding bacteria that's growing on the outer layers of the space station, and that is immune to radiation from the sun. So it doesn't need oxygen, it doesn't need any of that, but it's surviving on the outer layer. So for us, we don't think that it's like anything can survive without oxygen, and then nothing will survive without that radiation from the sun and without any of the protection. but now they've found evidence that there is something that's like, so we can come, you can, it's because it's not from Earth, we can call it an alien life,
Yeah,
kind of.
probably.
Like,
Yeah, maybe I've heard a little bit about it. I've not gone through the details, but thank you for sharing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good
It's
to
very
know.
interesting that it doesn't need the same survival mechanisms and the same elements that we need and the same protection we need.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I don't know if it'll survive when it comes back to Earth. We don't know about that. I didn't read that much into it, but that's interesting. So just outside of Earth, there is life growing. We've seen that. So the chances of there being life on other planets and other solar systems is just increasing. It's just increasing day by day.
Yeah, yeah, true. In fact, I was listening to a podcast, on Gaia the other day, by with what's her name, Regina Meredith.
On
She was
Gaia?
talking to hmm?
On which one?
Gaia.
Gaia, yeah.
It was an old podcast with
Yeah,
Jerry Wills, I think, Jerry Wills. So he
yeah.
was, in fact, they say that he was abducted also, and he has had an experience beyond. He went through a certain portal, and his wife was there, and she saw him disappearing, and then he was back. So there
Yeah,
are very interesting phenomena that which science is probing into it, because they are
yeah.
recording everything. But they have not provided detail, because there is
It's
no
very
tangible
it's
evidence.
very interesting, but I don't know how much I believe that. There are these people, yeah, who have these really uh they've had these experiences with alien life or being abducted and then having tests done on them and then being put back on Earth. Um,
Yeah, they are
but
being tested.
yeah,
they're kidnapped, and they are
yeah,
abducted, and people forget. And
yeah.
even Dolores Cannon has she's no more. But then during her hypnotherapy sessions of past life regression, she has had many such conversations with people and entities,
Mm-hmm.
ETs and all, through people.
Yeah,
So, yeah, this is something that is um, the information is available, but it is not evidence-based, like in a scientific, tangible form
yeah,
that's yet to come. But then it is already there. But it is, people deep inside know that it is true, it's correct, because many people have experienced and
yeah.
researched on it. And of course, it's ongoing, and there are divine souls like Bapuji who has had first-hand experiences, always having that experience. He's always in those realms.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, what is your next question? Let's move
I can
further. There's
keep
so
on
much we
talking
can
about
talk
this. I
about
love
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question would be is what are the various forms of bodies of life in the Brahman?
Uh, so before we go to the types of bodies in the Brahman, I would also say that maybe I could talk about little bit how was it created in a way, how was the Brahman created?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I will begin with a thought. Supposing how do you plan your day? It begins with a thought. Okay, there is a structure. You want to do some activity. That thought starts with a thought. Your plan starts with a thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when a single thought arises in the incorporeal or the formless state,
Yeah.
this formless state we discussed earlier also is called Nirakari state.
Yeah.
And the Mahashiv, when Mahashiv, who is the creator of a galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
um, when he has a thought to become infinite from a singular source, from his singular cell, the consciousness, he
Yeah.
just has a thought. So at that time, with this simple profound, subtle affirmation results in creation of trillions of incorporeal, formless, Nirakari Shivas. You know that one you can. That's why the book is very important. If in the further chapters of the book, there are illustrations where it has been described how this has happened. Like we say that even in the human body, there is a single cell, it has a nucleus. When multiple cells have to be created, then the single nucleus divides. When it starts dividing, then the cells, there is a process within the cell, and the cell splits into two. The creation from that cell has grown, and develops from there. So likewise, from the single thought of that comes to the mind of the Nirakari or the formless state of Shiva. When that happens, it splits or bursts into trillions of cells, trillions of Nirakari forms. The Nirakari means those are formless cells, you can say, or conscious states. And when this happens, each of these trillions newly created Shiva in their incorporeal states created their own Brahman. With their consciousness, when the Mahashiv split into many, each of the Shivas that was created creates with its own thought, creates different Brahmans. And these Brahmans have different parts. Like we say that it will have different planets and different celestial bodies. We were already talking about that. So the creator of each Shiva is the Mahashiv, and from Shiva comes the Brahman.
Okay.
So the power of every Brahman will vary, like everyone has, even in our physical bodies, have different power, like physical power, mental power, so many different strength, and that will explain our ability also, our quality also. That a person is very brilliant in a particular aspect, a particular way of doing things, taking action. So likewise, different Shivas, they have their own power. They have their celestial power that is called Kala. And depending on that Kala, they are able to create the Brahman. The Brahman or the solar system will have a power of its own, and it is directly related, proportionate to the power of the Shiva who created the Brahman. So you were talking about the different, different forms of the bodies that get created, through this Brahman. So the first one is the Nirakari state. The Nirakari state is the formlessness. Yeah, the formless state. And then is the Akari that develops into with thought process, the Nirakari or the formless states. Again, things, there is a thought. And with each thought, when you are doing an activity of creating, you lose the power also. You remember, if you, again, comparing it to our daily life, when we wake up in the morning, we are fresh. We sleep and then we wake up, we are fresh. We have more charge in ourselves. We can do a lot of work. But over the period of time, if we are doing a lot of physical or mental work, our energy is depleted.
Yeah.
We do lose our energy. So likewise, when the Nirakari Shiva makes an affirmation to manifest creation, and in an instant, this supreme divine light, because the power is the supreme divine light, it spreads in all directions, creating, different forms of the Akari Shiva, that it will have certain elements in it. It will not be a tangible physical body, but it will be a different form. It will be a slightly heavier form. The Nirakari is the lightest form of creation. That is the formless. Doesn't have any other. It has got this most supreme, superior elements of the Param Tattvas. Tattvas are the elements, if you remember, we discussed in our previous chapters.
Mm-hmm.
And then this time in the second step, the Akari Shiva is created. That Shiva in a subtle form, who is also known as the supreme male. This Shiva is known as the supreme male form,
Mm-hmm.
or it's also known as Param Purush.
Okay.
Param Purush. And then again, this Param Purush, or the this male Akari Shiva, he again creates another form from his own self,
Yeah.
self, and this this form has a lot of energy, which actually starts creating. This
Okay.
Param Purush actually starts creating when he releases another entity or the another form from its own self,
Mm-hmm.
that thought. This is called the feminine part, and
Mm-hmm.
it is also known as Prakriti
Mm-hmm.
or Shakti.
Mm-hmm.
And from this, now this he has created using the power of his own soul. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Nirakari form initially, then came the Akari form. That was again this Akari form is called the Param Purush. And from this Param Purush Shiva comes the female, the feminine part.
Mm-hmm.
She is released from the Akari form.
Mm-hmm.
Are you understanding?
Yeah.
So this form is being created by the power of his own soul, and the Akari Shiv and his Shakti, the feminine form,
Mm-hmm.
they together reside in the Shiv Puri. And they are also their form combined together is worshipped as Ardhanarishwar, half male, half female form. And then with this form, with this Ardhanarishwar form, they create another form that is called Vishnu. And
Their
now
baby.
from them, another form is created that is
Okay.
called Vishnu.
Okay.
There is the male form, there is the male form,
That's
there is
Shiva.
yeah, and then is the Shakti,
Yeah.
right? And
So from both of them together, there is Vishnu.
Vishnu, yes.
Is
So
that the same as in the Hindu mythology that I won't say mythology or like in the Hindu religion that
it is,
like that's
yeah, it
how
is actually in the Sanatan Dharam. It is not a religion in any form. I want
okay.
to clear. It's good that you said. Uh,
Yeah.
Sanatan Dharam is not a religion. It was there. It is the primordial form of philosophy that was there. There was nothing else when the planets were created.
Yeah.
And especially now that we are on Earth, so we are
Yeah.
talking about Earth time.
Yeah.
So when life came on Earth, there was no philosophy, there was no religion, there was
Yeah.
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So what existed was the Sanatan Dharam, and this what we are talking about is the Sanatan Dharam. What is true of that time, and that continuously exists. There are of course creations happen, and they are destroyed and they are created. That is a
Mm-hmm.
continuous process. So when Vishnu is created, and so Vishnu lives in his abode, or the realm of Vishnu is called Vaikuntha, and or it is also known as Vishnupuri. We referred to Vishnupuri in our previous chapters when we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about the various realms.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Vishnu, likewise, when Shiva has created feminine part from his own self, the
Yeah.
Prakriti or the Shakti. So
Mm-hmm.
now Vishnu creates his consort or the feminine aspect, goddess Lakshmi, from his own soul. It is just created from his own soul. It is again a subtle form, and
Okay.
it is created from that. And
Mm-hmm.
this Prakriti is called goddess, is known as goddess Lakshmi.
Okay.
And from there, and from this uh, feminine form and the Vishnu himself,
Yeah.
Brahma is created.
Okay.
Another creation happens, that
So
is
that now that is a tangible form. That is the
no,
tangible.
that is still not a tangible form. These are all still in their Nirakari forms. They are
Okay.
still formless, but they are again, like, you can talk about them as consciousness, or you can talk about, to understand in a layman language, different cells are being created, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when Lord Brahma is created from the navel of Lord Vishnu, and he resides in he is there in his abode, or the realm that is
Mm-hmm.
created. It is called Brahmapuri, or and then from Brahma, another feminine form emerges, is created through his own soul self. It is somehow, it's very, one might feel that it is more like a fantasy, or a story, but these are things which have been experienced and been explained in various scriptures, ancient
Mm-hmm.
scriptures, and people have had experiences, spiritual experiences,
Mm-hmm.
which relate to all this. So,
Yeah.
for people who are able to understand the spiritual aspect of life,
Mm-hmm.
they are able to understand this faster. But I definitely recommend going through the book Life in Multiverse, reading it,
Mm-hmm.
so that it gives a better understanding and grasp once you're looking at the diagrams in the further chapters. I will try to give you the screenshots of the chapters. Wherever some plates have been given, you can put them, insert as slides in between. We have
Mm-hmm.
done that in our previous videos
Yeah.
as well, but then
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that can be done. So then when Lord Brahma's consort is goddess Saraswati, she is created, um, and through Brahma,
Mm-hmm.
and they together, Brahma and goddess Saraswati,
Mm-hmm.
create seven great sages, or they create seven cells. You can, in
Yeah.
basic language, seven cells, which
Yeah.
were known as Saptarishis, or the seven great sages.
Yeah.
These seven great sages are known as the mind-born sons of Brahma. They are,
Okay.
because they are creations of the mind. Through the mind that this whole thing has happened, with the thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the thought, the concert was created. With the thought, Shiva created so much, and
Mm-hmm.
then Vishnu was created, then Brahma was created, right? So this has all come through the thought. So thought
Mm-hmm.
is very important.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The thought is very, and even nowadays we are listening to manifestation,
Yeah.
all by, so thought is important. So
Yeah.
thought is the basic root.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. It reminds me of like yeah, thought, like consciousness can control so much, and we're just getting to that. As far as science is concerned, like they found the observer effect, wherein they like sent in a proton or whatever
yeah,
you've heard about it, right?
yes,
So
yes,
like yeah, it goes through this little hole, and then when you're not observing it, it scatters. But the moment you observe it, now you're not talking to nothing, you're just like looking at it. And then it forms a line. So it's very interesting how your thought and then you're just observing and thinking about something can actually create physical change in the world. So right now they've just not right now, like sometime back they just discovered that. Now there's so many other things that we don't know. So thought and consciousness can create so much. So maybe we're at just like this very minuscule small level, but like these creations and then these entities are a lot bigger than us, and like they're also using their consciousness to create things. So I it's I'm I kind of believe that, just because if we can do it, I'm sure there's something bigger than us that's creating things as well.
yeah, yeah. Uh, that's Thank you for sharing that.
It's just
Because
like
it's
yeah,
for people who are watching, they are able to relate.
yeah,
When we compare with our
in our smaller
in
smaller
our
world.
smaller world, and a world that is everything that is tangible, like
Yeah.
it's a physical world. So when we relate things to that, and what is
Mhm.
happening is far beyond, like whatever is the visible universe is not even a
It's
fraction
just a
of what
fraction of
really
it.
exists.
Yeah. Like we can only observe like 30% of the universe and 70% of the matter that is there. We can't even see it. And
Yeah,
they don't know if it's dark matter. They call it dark matter, dark energy. But like that constitutes and that is adding so much weight in the universe that we can't see. We don't know what it is, which
yeah.
is really cool.
True, true. So the seven sages, or the saints, they are known as Saptarishis, and through their power of affirmations and thoughts, they created divine angels.
Mhm.
These divine angels were called Farishtas. And these farishtas, or the divine angels, are very powerful, highly, they can be compared to demigods or deities of the Swargaloka, or one can say probably heaven. I do not know how to compare heaven and Swarg, because my understanding of heaven, because heaven is very broad.
Yeah.
Heaven is said to be everything that is beautiful, and
Yeah.
Swargalok, and there are other loks that are equally good, beautiful,
Mhm.
but they have their own levels of existence in them.
Yeah.
So initially, there were only Farishtas in this Brahman, in this solar
Mhm.
system. We found that there were only Farishtas. But what happened?
What is a first? I don't think we.
They were divine angels. They were created by the seven sages I just mentioned, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The seven Saptarishis that were created
Mm-hmm.
by like we just spoke about Lord Brahma,
Yeah.
and Lord Brahma and goddess Saraswati, they
Yeah.
created through their thoughts. They created seven sages, or
Okay.
known as Saptarishis, and these Saptarishis, through their affirmations, they created the Farishtas.
Okay.
And these Farishtas, or the divine angels, are very powerful. They are like demigods.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened to but these Farishtas were made of supreme elements, and
Mm-hmm.
this body was also made of supreme light.
Yeah.
Means it is a very pure form of light. It has got a lot of power, celestial power, high celestial power is there. Again, the celestial power will be directly proportional and to the power of the Shiva, who originally started that process of creation at that time, right? So we will talk about that in our further chapters, but just I thought I will share that. And so Farishtas, they had a lot of power, and they start, but they did not begin to create right away. They
Mm-hmm.
preferred to stay in the higher realms, and but then what happened down the line? You know, some of them came down, and they came down to divine other realms of
Mm-hmm.
existence, just to explore and see what's happening. And from the world of farishtas, the world of heavenly gods came, because they came down
Mm-hmm.
from their own level to lower realms of existence. And they lost their power, because the moment you start creating, and you utilize that power to create something, you have lost some powers. So they
Okay.
became like, so these Farishtas became deities, or heavenly gods.
Okay.
They were created, and they created the seven lokas, or the
Mm-hmm.
seven dimensions, or the layers of creation happened. The realms of creation began at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So this continued to be created, going down and out, the down and down, the power of the gods and goddesses also, when they were going further down, they to various other forms of existence, they
Mm-hmm.
lost their power. And so this the all the good qualities of their souls, became I would say they declined. The word is the right word is the decline. Their powers declined,
Okay.
and so and the entire creation fell into a dark space.
Okay.
So it is said, Bapuji said that the entire creation fell into a very dark space.
Mm-hmm.
And because Farishtas were very bright, originally the Farishtas, because they had lot of power of light in them,
Mm-hmm.
supreme light, it was all brilliant and bright. But
Yeah.
when they became, when they fell down, most of them, lot of them fell down to becoming gods and
Yeah.
goddesses, the deities. The entire creation became very dark. And for this, there was another, a sun god created a body that is called the sun god, or the Surya Narayan Devata,
Yeah.
as he is known by,
Mm-hmm.
created a power of light, and that was the sun for the earth, because that became more like a dark space for to be inhabited. It was very dark, and the sun was formed at that time. And in the higher dimensions, there was no need for any outer source of light, because the power of these cells, or all the farishtas, and the in the higher realms, there is no need of the sun. But
Mm-hmm.
when they came down to the level of earth, and the earth was plunged into darkness, they needed light. And
So Earth was already there.
earth was created, yes.
So Earth, okay.
Again, it was a creation. It was like when the Brahmand was created, and Brahmand, the solar system was created. Different bodies were created. So
So are
Earth
we,
was.
does he talk related to the Big Bang?
One can relate it to, but I am not really able to relate it to Big Bang, because it can be related because there is an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Explosion can be related to the separation of the most pure elements, or the higher supreme elements of Shiva, when it split. You know,
Yeah.
it has happened at different levels. In fact, the black hole that they are saying is actually white.
Yeah.
That is actually the abode of the Shiva.
Yeah.
Shiva resides in that.
Yeah.
When destruction happens, he gobbles everything, takes everything inside himself, and it becomes like a black hole. And he is powerless at that time. We will talk about that. I think
Yeah.
we share a little bit about it earlier in dissolution. When we were talking about destruction and dissolution, we introduced a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah. So this is how the uh, earth received light from the sun.
Yeah.
Lot of these farishtas, and these, when they became gods and goddesses, deities, they
Mm-hmm.
came down to earth. They
Mm-hmm.
came down to earth, and they lost a lot of their powers, but they still had.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, when earth was created, they could live for hundreds of years,
Mm-hmm.
thousands of years. Initially, when we go through the ancient scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
the sages and the gods and goddesses who inhabited the earth, they
Mm-hmm.
lived for thousands of years. There have been kings who were known to have lived for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
In fact, this also has been. I was listening to another podcast in which they have said that man can live for hundreds of years now, because the quality of life has declined to such a extent. But if there are certain things are changed, then they can live for hundreds of years. And if hundreds of years is possible, then they could have lived for thousands of years as well.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know. And in fact, I will tell you about one person, one sage. Of course, we know about people who have lived more than 100 years. We keep
Yeah.
reading in newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this man who was actually there in India.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Devraha Baba. A lot of people have met him. Like he has seen India through various battles and wars, and through the freedom. But all presidents and prime ministers and many important people have taken his blessings. He is known by the name of Devra Baba. It's said that he lived more than 350 years ago. I have his photograph with me. It is a photograph, not a painting.
Okay.
So he,
So is he
there
still
are,
alive?
no, he's left.
Okay.
He's left, and he used to live in a kind of a bamboo house, near the river,
Yeah.
and uh, lived a very simple life. And did only yoga. And people have met him, and there are his videos also. There are some of his videos on YouTube. So we were talking about, the form of each of the bodies, right? In the Brahmand, or we can even say the universe. The system is the same. In
Yeah.
so there are three type of bodies. One is the physical body. One is another subtle body. There is a formless, the Nirakari body.
Yeah.
The formless world of supreme divine light, is called the Nirakari form, and this world is called the Nirakari Dunya, or the incorporeal world. The
Yeah.
realm is the incorporeal realm,
Yeah.
right? Or the Nirakari Dunya, where everything is of supreme divine light, and
Yeah.
it has the supreme divine elements in it. And then there is the subtle world of various forms. It could be made of supreme elements, various different levels. Again, depends on the stage the world is. But it will have supreme elements or the subtle elements, and this is called Akari Dunya. It is the subtle world.
Yeah.
And then is the physical world of 5 elements, and the forms also are defined by the same. So we were talking about the progression of life, from the subtle forms coming down to planet Earth. When they came
Yeah.
to planet Earth, they were still in their subtle form, but again, because of their thought and the life on planet Earth, the form of creation deteriorated. It declined because of their activities and the loss of power, and they the forms also changed.
Yeah.
So in the physical world, their bodies became comprised of 5 elements, but they deteriorated from the incorporeal, the highest supreme form of light.
Yeah.
That was their original state of the Nirakari state. That was the form of light, or the incorporeal form. Then
Yeah.
they transformed when they came to the other forms, like the realms of Farishtas. They developed the form of, they developed a subtle form, which had the supreme light had deteriorated, the quality deteriorated because of the thought process and the energy and the power that was lost. So they became subtle elements. They came in a form that is called the Akari form. It has subtle elements, and basically 3 elements. And then was the when they were in the physical form on Earth, when they came, their subtle forms transformed to a physical form, or the Sakari form. And this physical form or the world is called Sakari Dunya. And when they were in the original state, that was the Nirakari form, that realm is called the divine realm. That
Yeah.
is the Nirakari Dunya. And then when they came to the level, coming down to the level of Farishtas, or the Farishtas, or the uh, the divine uh, angels. We were talking about the divine angels.
Yeah.
That was the realm of the Akari Dunya, that is the subtle world.
Yeah.
It is kind of in between, like it is coming from the Nirakari form to the subtle form, and then it becomes totally a subtle form when it comes to the realm of the gods and goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
That becomes completely big, because between these stages there are transitions.
Mm-hmm.
So the transitions will be defined by the proportion of the supreme divine elements.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the higher the quality of the supreme divine element, the higher is the incorporeal form.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these are the different type of bodies and the realms they were in.
Mm-hmm. So then my next question is, what happened at the time of dissolution or destruction? You talked a little bit about black holes and stuff, but
Yes. Like we discussed, that every solar system or the Brahmand is created by its creator Shiva.
yeah.
And therefore, at the time of dissolution or destruction,
Mm-hmm.
you know, things happen, and the entire realm of this Brahmand is destroyed. And
Yeah.
there are different stages of destruction or dissolutions too.
Yeah.
But this is done by the creator himself, the Shiva. And when the creator of Brahman, because so much energy loss has been happening, right? Shiva transformed into lower
Yeah.
forms, and energy is being lost. And now, when we are looking at planet Earth at this time, in
Mm-hmm.
fact, many spiritual saints and people have said, because that most of the humans are gods and deities in their own time, of their own time. They say that, and even Bapuji says that these are the even in many philosophies, they said they are the fallen angels
Yeah.
into human bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom line is that the purest form, or the Nirakar form, lost its power, the power, whatever power it had. Now,
Yeah.
when these people have lost power, why? Because the quality of air went down. There is so much of pollution.
Mm-hmm.
People have misused the elements of earth. They have misused nature.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no other way out. It is what happens when you do some things, do some work, and it loses its taste, or food goes stale, you throw it,
Yeah.
destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing happens with these realms, with the planets. So
Yeah.
when this stage comes and Shiva totally loses its power, because there is no control, there is no way to correct the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So what he does, he brings upon an event that is called the Mahakal Pralay.
Yeah.
It is in which he totally destroys. It's a complete dissolution or destruction of the entire solar system,
Yeah.
and he brings out the power of fire from within, the Kal Agni from within. That celestial fire is called Kal Agni.
Mm-hmm.
It is also known as celestial fire. The great celestial fires have got different meanings in different places. But to explain it here, I'm using that.
Yeah.
And it consumes a fire that consumes time.
Yeah.
And so this creates a complete total destruction of the solar system by the creator Lord Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes this power to destroy. He also takes the power from Mahashiv, because Mahashiv is the creator of Shiv. You know,
Yeah.
Mahashiv is the creator of the galaxy,
Yeah.
and or you can say he's the owner of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Shiva takes this power, or Param light, or the supreme divine light and power from Mahashiv to regain its original powerful state, and to again create its own creation.
Mm-hmm.
Once he destroys, and the entire solar system is destroyed and dissolves, he
Mm-hmm.
again recreates it. He
Okay.
again recreates it after receiving power from Mahashiv. And this process continues to happen. This is all about one Brahman. This is but there are so many Brahmans in the galaxy, so many solar systems. So the same story is repeated
Yeah.
from time to time again. So I think this ends our chapter 7.
Yeah.
And we can discuss more in chapter 8. Chapter 8 and 9 are partly about what we were discussing already, about extraterrestrials, aliens, in a way, indirectly we were talking about, and different dimensions of the souls and the journey between the stars.
Yeah.
We will be talking about that.
Right. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for discussing the chapter with us, explaining the gist of everything. And so this brings us to an end. And so this is the end of chapter 7. And then we'll start with chapter 8 soon and discuss about alien life and all of that. So thank you so much for joining us, Kamaljeet.
Thank you for having me, Vani. And I again highly recommend our viewers to read the book. It is available for a free download. And also, there are some YouTube videos, both in English and Hindi. I don't know. I think it is being translated in many, many other languages, 15, 16 languages it has been translated in. So one can go to the website and take a look at it, paramshanti.org.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. We'll leave all the links down below.
Yeah.
And until next time, then, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.